We're in a golden age of card creation. Cards that are so unique that they become game-changing. They're being created and are being used in every single deck that we come across today, and all honesty, are hard to control. Now that our intro's out of the way, what is going on, guys? Alex here, and I'm back for a discussion video, and today we're going to be talking about the biggest hand trap that is used at the moment, which is Maxx. And Maxx is now in every single deck, no question. I have not seen one deck profile or one deck that I come up against at locals that doesn't use Maxx. It's now gone to the stage where it's like, now you must play one Maxx in your deck, because before, when this card was at 3, it would be quite weird because people would say I could play one Maxx because I want my other cards, or I could play 2 Maxx, or I could play 2 Maxx in my deck and maybe side another Maxx on if like their deck is my opponent's deck are splashy cards everywhere. And in the past YCS, or I believe it was WCQ in North America, Maxx was practically a win condition. I watched a lot of that matches, and I would show you some results and stuff, but it's hard to explain it and go through it. I mean, the deck that won was True Draco Zodiac, and Maxx was of course used in that deck. In against these decks, and it kind of makes me think now, what would it be if Maxx was back at 3? Would the card look even more broken, or would it change the game again, and make things a bit more different? Now, other hand traps that came into place are Ghost Ogre, Ash Blossom, and Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries. Ghost Reaper hasn't really seen much play in the competitive scene because this is a very, very situational hand trap that you're not really going to see every day, and has a really weird activation activation timing. And Ash Blossom and Ghost Ogre, on the other hand, are in every single deck. I mean, I use Ghost Ogre in nearly all my decks, practically, apart from maybe Light Swans. I don't use Ghost Ogre in that deck. I don't own Ash Blossom, but if I did, I'd probably be playing it. These cards are in every deck, and it kind of feels like the only reason why Maxx is seen as people see Maxx as a humongous problem is because these cards are just shadowing it and making Maxx look too strong than it actually is. Maxx is, of course, the best hand trap to ever be created, and has now been hard to control because it's now at 1. When if it was back at 3, it then gives your chance to your opponents your chance to think, okay, I could play 1 Maxx, I could play 2 Maxx, or I could play 3 Maxx. What should I do? When on the other hand, Ghost Ogre and Ash Blossom can be compared and taken out of decks because of what you're against. If you're against a deck that's not necessarily searching, you don't need to play Ash Blossom. If your opponent benefits from cards being destroyed, you don't need to play Ghost Ogre. However, we're now in a format in Yu-Gi-Oh! Where special summoning is so damn important that Maxx must be played to counter this. True Draco is a complete different approach. You're not really going to see Maxx in True Draco, nor against True Draco, or other decks like maybe Gravekeepers or Yosenjus, but those don't see competitive play at all. But you see where I'm coming from. Maxx is a card that is so stable because of how much special summoning is done, when Ghost Ogre and Ash Blossom don't necessarily need to be played, but are just very strong anyway. In my opinion, overall, Maxx should not be at 1. I believe they should put it back to 3, because that way it makes you think more about how you can play Maxx. Not every person has to play 1. because that is all it is now, is every deck plays one, and if decks are so reliant on hand traps, it can then make you think, okay, I could play 3 Maxi, or I could play maybe 1 Maxi, 2 Ghost Ogres, and 2 Ash Blossoms, or I could play 3 Maxi, 1 Ghost Ogre, and 1 Ash Blossom, or if I have to, I can play 3 Ash Blossom and 2 Maxi. You see, it then turns into a situational thing. But it's now thinking like Maxi is being sort of overshadowed so much by Ghost Ogre and Ash Blossom that it's now seen, if the person draws it, that it's a complete broken card. It's a really powerful card, don't get me wrong, but it's not too powerful to be called broken. What makes it broken is the fact that it's at 1, and it now feels like whoever draws it wins, because it's a 1 in 39 chance, no, 1 in 40 chance, 1 in 40 chance of drawing Maxi, because you can only play it at 1. 30, like, so if you, and that is a lot, when if I can play 3 Ghost Ogres, it turns into 3 out of 40, 3 Ash Blossom, 3 out of 40 again, and if they put Maxi back at 3, it then turns into a 3 out of 40, but then you'll be thinking, oh, but they can play 3, that doesn't make sense, because you can play 3 cards, that forces your opponent to draw. Yeah, it makes your opponent draw, but it doesn't make your opponent, it doesn't make, interfere with plays to the extent where it destroys cards or prevents searches. These other Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring is quite a situational card during certain turns, and so is Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, due to the fact that it doesn't negate anything. Maxi doesn't negate, however, it can make your opponent think more about what they can do. I think, to sort of wrap this up, I think with Maxi, it should go back to 3, because that way it makes it easier to control other hand traps, like Ghost Ogre and Ash Blossom, and make you think more about how many you should play. And then decks, of course, will still keep using it, but it will make you think more on how many should I play. I can only, should I play 1, or should I play 3? Should I play 3 Ghost Ogre, or should I play none? Should I play 3 Ash Blossom, or should I play 2 Ash Blossom? You know, and like, with hand traps now evolving so much, overall, these cards can turn into such situational cards that you're not going to be seeing, you might not even be seeing them in the game at all. Quickly, again, this card is at 3 in the OCG, and is doing a lot of work, but isn't doing enough to make you think, oh, okay, this card should be banned. If Konami and if the TCG do not know how to control Maxi, which, don't get me wrong, it's hard to control, I can see it from their perspective, it's a hard card to control, then they should just remove it from the game and ban it. And personally, if they do ban it, I wouldn't blame them, because it's hard to control. However, if they want the game to become a more situational game, they should put it back to 3 and make you choose how you play the card. Do you want to play it at 3? Do you not want to play it at 3? Bear in mind, we're in a format where special summoning is insanely important, and Maxi turns into a huge floodgate that makes your opponent think, but doesn't necessarily interfere with players enough to actually stop you from playing the game. Anyway, that is it for this discussion video. My name is Alex. If you enjoy this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up and leave a comment below. Tell me if you enjoyed this video, if you want to see some more discussion videos like this, because personally I think I quite like making them. Also, tell me your opinion towards my opinion of Maxi. If you completely disagree with what I'm saying, put that in the comment section below, and I will reply to you on what I think afterwards. Anyway, that is it. My name is Alex, and I will see you guys later. Peace.